Why a clean digital life exposes the darkness. You think living pure, avoiding lust, skipping gossip, and keeping your content holy makes you invisible? No. It makes you highly visible to the system. The uncomfortable truth. The digital system that governs most of the internet isn't just watching your clicks. It watches what you don't click. It maps your habits, predicts your responses, feeds your weaknesses. And when your digital trail exposes the fact that you avoid sexualized content, you don't binge emotional breakdowns, you don't consume drama, you don't follow the herd, you don't engage the manipulation machine, you don't dance for the algorithm, you don't reward trends with attention, then you're flagged as an outlier, not a criminal, not a threat to national security, but a threat to the system's control mechanisms. You are, by their standards, unprogrammable. Let's decode the system. This isn't just about entertainment. It's mass psychological engineering. The average user is caught in a loop. Temptation, click, pleasure, guilt, repeat. And each cycle makes them weaker, more dependent, more emotional, more numb. So when someone breaks out and doesn't scroll for hours, who doesn't chase likes or validation, doesn't engage gossip, doesn't indulge voyeurism, doesn't mimic trends, doesn't sell their soul for reach or views, they set off silent alerts. This person isn't responding as expected. They're outside the influence net. This is not just about content. It's about control. The powers of this world have realized that whoever controls your attention, controls your beliefs, your emotions, your decisions. So when you decide not to conform, not to feed demons of lust, rage, jealousy, or envy, not to give your data to spiritual parasites, you become a digital rebel, not because you're loud, but because you're clean. This is spiritual warfare in a digital disguise. For though we live in the world, we do not wage war as the world does. The weapons we fight with are not the weapons of the world. On the contrary, they have divine power to demolish strongholds. 2 Corinthians 10:3-4. The real war isn't physical, it's spiritual data warfare. They want your mind. They want your feed shaped by their demons. They want your algorithms infected. They want your conscience seared. But when you choose purity, holiness, and quiet resistance, you become a glitch in their matrix. And now you're dangerous, because you are not ruled by lust, not seduced by drama, not hypnotized by trends, not manipulated by emotion, not trained to obey pixels. You are free, and a free soul cannot be controlled. Jesus walked this same tension. The system back then was a fusion of political pressure, religious compliance, and military force. They tried to trap him. They asked him to pay tax. He didn't panic. He didn't hustle. He sent Peter to pull money from a fish's mouth, Matthew 17:27. Why? Not because he was broke, but because he refused to depend on their economy. He refused to be a slave to their systems. They couldn't predict him. They couldn't corrupt him. They couldn't contain him. So they flagged him and killed him because free men ruin slave systems. So what happens when you start walking like that? When your IP address avoids filth, when your scroll time decreases, when your digital record is clean, when your spirit becomes sensitive, you're seen, not by man, but by the powers and principalities, Ephesians 6:12. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it. You shine without trying, not because of ego, but because of purity. And purity is rebellion in a dirty world. So yes, they flagged you. Too late. Heaven already sealed you. You're not theirs. You don't belong to the algorithm. You don't belong to lust. You don't belong to fear. You don't belong to cultural slavery. You belong to a kingdom not built on code, money, or likes. You are marked for glory. Let them study you. Let them track you. Let them misunderstand you. You're not hiding. You're advancing. And you're not alone. You're part of a holy resistance rising in silence. The remnant has no uniform, but it has fire. They'll never see us coming, until it's too late.